Right now at 6, a Sparta man will spend decades in prison for killing his ex-girlfriend.
And a new proposal may help limit nitrate levels in Minnesota soil.
Watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 6.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 6. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown.
A Sparta man will spend 33 years in prison for beating his ex-girlfriend to death. 34-year-old Sean Hawk is convicted of killing 32-year-old Sarah Latimer after a breakup back in May of 2022. He will spend 33 years confined and another 20 under extended supervision. Hawk initially faced a first-degree intentional homicide charge. He eventually pleaded guilty to a charge of first-degree reckless homicide. He had been convicted of domestic abuse before Latimer's death. Latimer's mother says it's important to finally have closure, but she says the law didn't do enough to protect her daughter when she needed it most. Both she and Hawk addressed each other in court.
Trust me when I say I truly despise the man I was when I was arrested. Anybody who looks at this case would not think that's the man I love that woman. Mom, I love Sarah Latimer.
Maybe someday you will have a relationship with your son. Because you are the only parent he has right now. We can't be his parents. We're his grandparents. He doesn't have a mom. And if you want to call yourself a dad, you're going to have to earn that.
The 20 years of extended supervision is the maximum the state can enact. The judge says this, quote, horrific crime means Hawk needs supervision for the rest of his life.
2 people are arrested for allegedly sex trafficking a minor. According to criminal complaints, La Crosse police were sent to a gas station for an assault call on June 4th. A 16-year-old girl said she was being trafficked and assaulted by 30-year-old Dwayne Davis. Investigators learned the girl had been working for Davis since March and was forced to have intercourse with him multiple times. The next day, Davis was arrested and charged with multiple felony counts, including trafficking of a child and child sexual exploitation. He's being held on a $50,000 cash bond. Investigators also learned that 26-year-old Courtney Klickner created an account for the girl on an online escort service. After police contacted Klickner, she turned herself in on June 25th. She's charged with 1 count of trafficking a child and is currently out of jail on a $1,000 cash bond.
Authorities in Wabasha County are investigating an apparent accidental shooting of a 6-year-old. The Wabasha County Sheriff's Office says they received reports of a 6-year-old with gunshot wounds at a residence in Elgin at about 6:30 Tuesday night. The child was taken to the hospital with serious injuries. The Sheriff's Office says the incident appears to be accidental. They also confirmed the wounds were caused by another person. That investigation is ongoing.
Governor Evers ordering flags at half-staff today in honor of a Wisconsin youth prison counselor who was killed by an inmate. 49-year-old Corey Prulks was attacked by a 16-year-old inmate Monday while on duty at Lincoln Hills Copper Lake Schools, a youth prison in Irma. Prulks was declared brain dead and passed away Tuesday. The inmate was charged in adult court on counts of second-degree reckless homicide, felony murder battery, and 2 counts of battery by a prisoner. He could face up to 58 years in prison. Prulks' death comes 3 weeks after prosecutors filed criminal charges against a warden and multiple staffers with the Wisconsin Department of Corrections following 2 inmate deaths.
The partial failure of the Rapidan Dam in Minnesota has caused a local landmark to fall into the Blue Earth River. The house belonged to the owners of the Rapidan Dam store, and fortunately no one was home at the time. With Minnesota's historic flooding, the ground under the house eroded by rushing water around the 114-year-old dam, which partially failed on Monday.
Well, absolutely lovely day today here in the region. No complaints so far. Nice and sunny and a nice breeze too, Greg.
Yeah, we had that north breeze behind the cold front and those dew points. You look outside, 50 dew points. Very comfortable this time of year. We've had dealt with the 60s, even 70, but for today, 50, so that's really comfortable conditions and kind of what I'd like to see a lot of the summer. Unfortunately, we'll probably get not that back eventually down the road, but for this evening, we're just going to see actually very good conditions, 64 degrees, light northeast winds or north winds. A few clouds out there overall, but still very pleasant, 61 later on for Eau Claire with no issues. Overall, just a fair weather, cumulus clouds out there with the daytime heating behind the front. Temperature still remaining in the upper 70s to around 80, a little cooler as you go further north and northeast, but overall pretty quiet and overall, just that cloud cover will continue, but some of it will dissipate once the sun sets, and we'll see maybe a little bit of a low clouds developing in some areas later on tonight. But notice the temperatures, 50s, even 40s getting back down, giving an indication of this cooler air mass that's kind of overhead. Now, later on tomorrow, of course, we got the moon tunes coming up. Should remain dry. That's the good news. Still pleasant conditions, but we do have some rain in the forecast later for Friday. We'll kind of time that out and then show you how cooler conditions will feel like for this weekend too, all a bit later.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks, Greg. Well, Minnesota health officials say nitrate contamination is all too common in Winona, Houston, and Fillmore County groundwater. The State Department of Health says the chemical compound is linked to serious health risks like cancer and blue baby syndrome.
One of the easiest ways it gets into groundwater is manure runoff from farms. News 8 Now's Allison Fergut explains a new proposal that would restrict certain farming practices to lower Minnesota's nitrate levels. Allison.
Ken and Emily, the Department of Agriculture reported that more than 1 in 10 southeastern Minnesota private wells have unsafe nitrate levels. Unique geological features make the area even more at risk to nitrate contamination. Environmental advocates say the proposed changes would protect vulnerable areas. The new requirements can be broken down into 3 parts. The first requires cover crops to be planted during the fall to soak up some of that nitrate. Farmers will also have to inspect their fields while manure is being applied and at the end of every workday. Lastly, if the field lot transfers manure to someone else, that person who bought the manure will have to follow the same rules as the person who sold it. The permit changes would impact only 1,000 of the state's 17,000 registered feedlots. Environmental advocates consider it a first step.
We think that they're very common sense. They're very reasonable. They're a small incremental step towards what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And so this is what we would like to see for a first step. And we think that things need to go a lot farther.
But there is some pushback to the proposals. Some agricultural advocates are concerned the changes will hurt the state's farming industry. Minnesotans have until August 9th to comment on the proposed permit changes. Then the MPCA will decide whether to adopt them. And if adopted, those changes would officially go into effect in 2028. Ken and Emily?
All right, Allison, thank you very much. And MDH is hosting a water quality public meeting at Rushford Peterson School right now until 8 o'clock tonight.
Private well owners can bring in a sample of their water to get tested for nitrates.
Well, there's some good news for those looking to cool off in the Black River Falls area. Turns out the Hoffman Aquatic Center will open this year after all. Earlier this month, the center announced they would be closed for the 2nd year in a row due to an ongoing leak. But in a release today, city officials say the leak has been fixed and all water features are working smoothly. The Aquatic Center will open for the season this Saturday.
Riverfest is just around the corner, and that means the 2024 medallion hunt is officially underway. Each day a new clue will be released until the medallion is found. You can find these clues every morning on the Riverfest Facebook and Instagram pages. The medallion is hidden within a 10-mile radius of Riverside Park. It's small enough to fit in the palm of your hand and won't be buried. The winner gets 4 Riverfest buttons and $50 in food vouchers and 10 beverage tickets.
President Biden and former President Trump prepped for their big debate.
How they're working to gain support in battleground state Georgia when we come back.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 18 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
Senator Baldwin says I'm not from Wisconsin. But this was my childhood home. Graduated East High. Became a Badger in '86, where I've had my company for over 20 years.
And this is where we live. It's our family home.
I'm a 4th-generation Wisconsinite. It made me who I am. If Senator Baldwin's not going to be honest with you about where I'm from, what makes you think she'll be honest with you about anything? I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Get ready to save huge at the King Furniture Independence Day sale going on now. We're celebrating with huge discounts on sofas, sectionals, recliners, bedrooms, dining rooms, lift chairs, and more. Our warehouse is overstocked and we need to move some furniture fast. That means incredible savings for you. Find July 4th deals on the best brands in the furniture and mattress business. Do not miss the King Furniture Independence Day sale going on now.
One day only, this Thursday, June 27th. Save big on Hy-Vee butter, just $2.99. Washington red cherries, just $2.77 a pound. 6-pack bottles of Coke products, just $2.99. Gatorade 8-packs, just $4.99. Hy-Vee shredded cheese, 3 for just $4. And buy one, get one free Doritos. Get these great deals and more Thursday only and only at Hy-Vee.
Knutson Roofing, locally owned with 18 years of experience to get your project done right the first time. Whether it's roofing, window, or siding installation, we offer reliable, dependable, and quality work we stand behind. Knutson Roofing. Call or visit us online today.
The Supreme Court appears poised to side with the Biden administration on a critical abortion case out of Idaho to allow the procedure in medical emergencies.
That's according to a document cited by Bloomberg News that was briefly posted on the High Court's website today. A Supreme Court spokesperson confirmed a document was inadvertently uploaded. The copy reviewed by Bloomberg showed the 6-3 vote to allow emergency abortions to temporarily take place in Idaho while the case continues.
President Biden and former President Trump are both prepping for Thursday night's matchup.
Yeah, their campaigns had stand-ins on the trail today, making the case for the candidates in Georgia, the battleground state where CNN is hosting the first presidential debate. Bradley Blackburn has more details from New York.
Hey, Mr. President. Hello, everybody. It's great to be with you.
Former President Trump took time out of his debate prep to call into a Black Americans for Trump campaign event at an Atlanta barbershop Wednesday.
I think you're going to get a fair shot from Jake Tapper and Dana Bash tomorrow night.
Well, I think it would be good for them if they did it. I think probably not.
Trump campaign has been focusing on outreach to African American voters looking for better results than 2020.
Black folk will vote for him to get gas under $1.
A recent CBS News poll shows President Joe Biden leading Trump 81 to 18% among likely black voters surveyed.
I officially endorsed President Biden today.
For its part, the Biden campaign is actively courting dissatisfied Republicans. Former Illinois Congressman Adam Kinzinger and his staff have been working to recruit more Republicans to campaign for President Biden.
The Biden campaign is doing a good job of reaching out for individuals that look like us and talk like us and think like us and have campaigned as conservatives.
Kinzinger was one of only 2 Republicans to serve on the House investigation of the January 6th attack.
Donald Trump, at the beginning of every one of his rallies, has the January 6th people that have been detained sing the national anthem. He calls them the January 6th hostages.
CBS News has learned Biden plans to make defending democracy a central theme in the debate. In a new AP News poll, a majority of Democrats and Republicans say they are extremely or very likely to follow the debate by either watching it live or watching clips and news coverage later. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
That AP poll shows only about 4 in 10 independent voters plan to closely follow Thursday night's debate.
Well, the ribbon is cut for a brand new playground in Pullman.
How the new space is designed for all children to enjoy.
And pleasant conditions continue for Thursday. We are monitoring some rain that'll be coming in for a Friday. I'll show you how much you'll see and whether it'll last all day, and more importantly, what the weekend looks like. That all coming up on your First Warn Weather Update after the break.
Every day we battle illegal drugs coming into our community.
And we know the attacks on Tammy Baldwin are not true.
Tammy's working with law enforcement to stop the flow of fentanyl.
She brought Democrats and Republicans together
to crack down on drugs coming from China and Mexico,
giving us more tools to fight drug smugglers.
And Tammy voted 32 times to strengthen the border.
Don't believe the attacks.
It's Tammy Baldwin I trust to keep Wisconsin safe.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
This adorable shelter pet wants to meet you and your family today. The News 8 Now Pet of the Week is brought to you by
Wisconsin Veterinary Orthopedics.
Get an 11% rebate on your painting project at Menards. Dutch Boy DuraClean is an interior paint and primer in one with Stay Clean technology, so your home stays beautiful longer. A gallon starts at $19.48 after rebate. Paint in one coat with Max Bond Plus exterior paint. It provides max adhesion, height, and performance. With over 800 one-coat colors, it's designed to work for you. A gallon of flat is $47.87 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Sunken or uneven concrete only worsens with time due to changing seasons, stress on the slab, or poorly compacted soil. Thankfully, American Waterworks offers proven, warranted solutions. Typically less expensive than full replacement and more efficient and lightweight than mud jacking, our methods are designed to last. After all, your sunken concrete won't get better with time, but it will with our modern solutions. Choose confidence, choose reliability, choose American Waterworks.
They say that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Well, they are correct.
Enjoy one of our tasty steak patty sandwiches paired with a $2 medium iced coffee.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
It's not very often a fella gets to offer the best products in the marketplace at a price lower than most others. When I look at this beautiful showroom, when I consider the quality of our products and the team of 80 exceptional professionals, we should be higher priced, but we're not. If you have any doubts for your next home improvement project, you should contact the Board Store today. It's not all the sales and discounts, it's the bottom line that counts, and you'll get no better bottom line than at the Board Store Home Improvements.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Today, the ribbon was officially cut for a new all-abilities playground at Remington Hills Park in Holmen.
And that's thanks in part to the North American Squirrel Association, or NASA. NASA is a Holmen organization that supports elderly and physically challenged people in enjoying the outdoors.
They've been working with the Village of Holmen on the playground since 2021. NASA's park chairman says it's important that every child has an equal chance to enjoy the playground.
Anybody that wants to come and play, we just wanted to make sure that there was an avenue for people who may be in a wheelchair or just had limited mobilities to be able to get out and experience some park play.
The playground costs about $300,000 in total, and that's thanks to donations from a number of local businesses and community members.
I've actually been to that park several times, so I've kind of seen it in progress. It looks like a lovely setup for all the kids.
Start to the summer for them.
Yeah, and a good day to enjoy it today.
Oh,
it was
absolutely.
picture perfect outside. Hoping more of the same for the rest of this week, Greg.
Well, we got one more day at least for Thursday, and then we do have some wet conditions for Friday. The good news is the weekend still looks for the most part dry and cool, especially if you like cooler conditions. But really, we're looking at dry conditions through tomorrow night. It still looks to be wet for a Friday morning, and I think the morning hours more than the afternoon. We still got the front that'll come through late in the day or even Friday night, so maybe some hit and miss thunderstorms, but I think most areas might remain dry. It's the morning hours that look to be the wet. Really, the system that we're watching is way out to the Pacific Northwest, just coming on shore, heading into Washington, eventually Idaho right there. That's a system eventually that will come through, but so it's got about another day before it actually gets across the mountains, gets into the northern plains here, and that's what we'll be approaching. But for tonight, just a little loose, the cloud cover after sunset. That north wind will kind of continue, become more northeast. With the dry air mass in place and those lower dew points, the temperatures will fall off a little bit quicker than we did last night. We'll probably see temperatures as you wake up in the 50s, maybe some upper 40s further east. So a little bit of a chill, maybe a little bit of low clouds that may form in certain areas, but it won't be quite widespread type fog issue. Then as tomorrow works away, we'll see the cloud cover begin to increase as you notice the winds start turning back around to the southeast. Anticipation that system will be approaching, but throughout the afternoon, getting to 70s by noon, and then in the afternoon, just increasing high clouds. You'll still see to be able to get the sun through. The winds will start picking up out of the south-southeast, and then there's your precipitation that'll be approaching, but it won't be until really we get closer to the Friday morning commute. So we're expecting dry conditions all the way really throughout Thursday night. It won't be right away when you get to the Friday morning, and this is more probably going to be a better shot I-94 and north to see steady light to moderate rain through the morning commute. A little bit more spotty as you go further south, but we'll see a band come through, and it right now looks to be just mainly rain, maybe a bit embedded thunderstorm, but overall pretty light precipitation, especially go further south. Once that comes through, then I think a lot of areas will see cloud cover throughout most of the day, and here comes that front, but it's not going to be probably till the evening that we might see a little bit of a line of showers and storms, very thin line developing towards Friday night into early Saturday morning. Just a little bit hit and miss. And once that front comes through, then we're going to cool off behind it with some cooler air. But here's the precipitation amounts. This is till noon. Looking at maybe a quarter to a half. More as you go further north, maybe up to 3/4 to possibly an inch. That'll be more the steadier rain will be falling during the morning commute through about noon. Otherwise, a lot of hit and miss as you go further south. So a light rain amount. It won't really impact the rivers at all with this amount of rain coming through. But right now, we're still rising up to moderate stage for the Mississippi. Most of the areas are. Next week, it's going to probably stay that way. In fact, La Crosse is already hitting moderate, just at 14. That'll probably continue all the way through the 4th of July, maybe beyond that. The rest of them are going to continue to rise and then stay at that level for foreseeable future. So that's the one thing. We're going to deal with the heavy amounts of precipitation. We're not going to see a lot over the next 7 days, but still, it'll keep those flows high and throughout the next week or so. Overall tonight, just going to be clearing skies, partly cloudy, a few clouds out there. Otherwise, temperatures 50s, maybe some upper 40s. Tomorrow, still pleasant conditions with increasing clouds. The rain approaches Friday morning. Saturday into Sunday look cooler, mid-70s with some overnight lows definitely in the 40s. And then even the 4th of July right now looks seasonable. Rain chances look pretty small, but we're not looking at any hot or humid conditions throughout next week, and that's the good news going through the 4th.
Yeah, sounds great.
I like it.
All right, thank you, Greg. Coming up next in sports, campers galore. UWL hosting a hoops clinic helping kids sharpen their skills, plus a grand slam, inside the park home run, and a pitching debut all in Milwaukee this afternoon. Jacob's got the Wild highlights next.
Proper installation of your new windows make a difference. The team at Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions are factory trained to make sure your windows are installed to last. Call or stop into the showroom for your free estimate.
During the 4th of July sale going on now at PM Sleep Center, you can save up to $200 on select Sealy mattresses. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-833-376-4999.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too. Call now.
A storm damage message from Knutson Roofing. If the roof on your home, business, church, or school was damaged by recent storms, call your local roof repair expert, Knutson Roofing at 715-ROOFING. Trust a local company with thousands of references to fix your roof, not the drive-through town companies that show up after a storm. Knutson Roofing. Local, dependable. Did we say local? Call 715-ROOFING today.
Your Touchstone Energy Cooperative knows safety is the backbone of reliability. To deliver the power you need means doing things right, so we can continue to provide reliable energy and peace of mind, because safety runs through everything we do. Touchstone Energy Cooperatives, your source for power and information.
During the 4th of July sale going on now at PM Sleep Center, you can save up to $400 on select Stearns & Foster mattresses. Your next mattress is at PM Sleep Center, giving La Crosse a good night's sleep for over 35 years.
Covering all of the exciting action from your community, here's News 8 Now Sports.
This week, the UWL men's basketball team is trying to help develop the next batch of young ballers. Players and coaches from the Eagles are in the midst of hosting a camp for kids from 3rd to 8th grade. And today was day 3 of 4 for the youngsters. This camp focuses primarily on the offensive side of the ball with drills and training that help develop shooting, ball handling, passing, and footwork skills. At the end of today's session, some of the live action scrimmages were happening, and the kids put those skills they learned on display. And despite some hot days in Mitchell Hall, the energy has been high. Head coach for UWL, JT Gritzmacher, says the main focus is making sure everyone has fun.
Seeing the smiles, seeing the kids having fun. I remember when I was their age, I think you didn't care what camp you were at. You thought you were in the NBA, right? So for these kids, just having fun, making sure they're playing basketball, enjoying it, kind of get out the house, doing other things.
Camp this week is tomorrow, Championship Thursday, where the boys will compete for prizes. UWL will host another camp beginning July 22nd. The Brew Crew with a Wednesday afternoon game looking for the sweet bottom three. Jake Bowers showing off the power. Another grand slam for a Brewers player gives Milwaukee the lead. The Rangers would fight back and go in front in the fourth, but here is Jackson Churio. That ball gets down, and he turns on the afterburners for an inside the park home run, 31st in franchise history, and the game would stay tied at 5 until the bottom of the 10th. Andrew Monasterio, a 2-on, 2-out, laces one in the left center gap, and that does it. Milwaukee sweeps Texas. Brewers are 15 games over 500 at the halfway point of the season. How about this story right here? This is a live look from the West Salem Post 51 softball game against Viroqua. And while it may look like a normal Legion game, it is anything but. In this game, Zoe Coder, a West Salem student who was involved in an automobile accident in October of 2022, is playing. Now she's worked remarkably hard through physical therapy to be able to play the sport she loves, and tonight she gets that chance. We'll have an interview for you at 10 with Zoe. A remarkable story of perseverance. How cool is that, guys? That's awesome stuff.
Absolutely. Really looking forward to that tonight because I remember when she eventually came back home after months of treatment, the village just had an entire parade of people who drove by the house just to wave to her, give her a stuffed animal. So the community is definitely behind her.
And after that physical therapy, sometimes you do come back stronger. I can attest to that after a ski accident. This leg's strong as a rock now after going through all that. So good for her.
Thank you, Jacob.
Okay, we'll have another look at your forecast right after this.
Stories are told on our Instagram at WKBT News 8. Or you can always find us at news8000.com.
Get ready to save huge at the King Furniture Independence Day sale going on now. We're celebrating with huge discounts on sofas, sectionals, recliners, bedrooms, dining rooms, lift chairs, and more. Our warehouse is overstocked and we need to move some furniture fast. That means incredible savings for you. Find July 4th deals on the best brands in the furniture and mattress business. Do not miss the King Furniture Independence Day sale going on now.
If you've been hurt in a car accident, you need the personal injury attorneys of Schwabel, Getz & Sieben. Our experienced attorneys are 100% committed to helping our clients receive a fair and equitable settlement. Schwabel, Getz & Sieben can use their size and resources to fight big insurance companies and ensure the best compensation possible for you. Call the personal injury powerhouse Schwabel, Getz & Sieben or visit schwabel.com to receive a free case consultation, representing accident victims for over 50 years.
After I decided my pain was too much, and my doctor actually suggested that I do visit the Good Feet store. Pretty amazing when they put the arch supports in your shoe and you walk around and you realize there's not pain and you think, how can this arch support in my shoe make my back pain go away? But it works. And how can it make my knee pain go away? It was incredible.
Hip, knee, or back pain? See if arch supports can help you at the Good Feet store.
All right, dry and pleasant tomorrow. We do have rain in the forecast for Friday. Looks more morning than afternoon or evening, and then a cool type of weekend. If you're looking for heat and humidity, we got really not much in the forecast at all, really.
All right, we'll take it. Thanks for joining us at 6.
We'll see you at 10.